So I have all my camera gear, my clothes, and then I have 400-foot rope, which I do the like zip line stuff with, and then all the carabiners and ascenders and harnesses to go with the cable cam stuff. Then I have this massive tripod, a big jib arm, all the weights for the jib arm. I think that's it. Between the tape, it kind of scratched the surface with telling the story of what is World Cup downhill. Like I'd like to think someone that's not involved in the sport could sit down and follow the film, but in first I'm really kind of concentrating on telling the stories of a few individual riders. So Sam's section will be the first one in the film, and since he's the current world champion, so you tell Sam's story, and then it's like not just kind of being like, okay, Vigo, the track at Vigo is pretty average. It's like, okay, Vigo, you get to Vigo and you have 4 days of practice. This is how much practice you have. This is how many points you can win in qualifying. This is how many points you can win in the finals. So I'm really trying to really tell the story of World Cup downhill. Whereas between the tape, I mean, I did a little bit, but just kind of didn't do it as thoroughly as I think I can. I'm super good friends with all the Athertons, so after the Maribor World Cup, went to their house for like a week and a half, and I had this idea to shoot their section, and I wanted to do something really cool because I thought the best section in between the tape, or at least the one that I was most proud of, was the Atherton section, just because that was the first time I had really done any of the zipline stuff, and went to their house just not really knowing how to do it, and we all kind of worked together, and I thought it turned out great, so yeah. I wanted to do something super cool, so basically what I thought we'd do was shoot the whole section at night. So what we ended up doing is going into town and buying all these lights and all these generators and all these extension cords, and rented this cherry picker and all this stuff, and shot the whole thing in the pissing rain at night in North Wales, where they live. Sam off the bike is definitely, a lot of people make him out to be like I always get asked by almost his competitors that I'm friends with, like Manar and the Athertons and that sort of thing, it's like, what's Sam like? And he's actually, he's awesome to hang out with off the bike, he's super funny, and he's definitely got a lot of wit. I mean, he's the best rider in the world, so filming with him is, I mean, it's good. He shreds, so. All the race sections are going to have a really specific sound, and that's kind of like a more cinematic Hollywood style, kind of like the trailer is, not quite as in your face as the trailer was, but kind of that less vocals, just more pretty into violins. So a lot of kind of just a classic cinematic sound, all the race sections, and then all the rider sections are a bit of everything, like probably going to use a Rise Against song for Sam's section, and just all sorts of stuff for the rider sections. The first thing I shot for First would have been the first round of the World Cup Series in Vigo, Spain in 2007, and it's premiering April 18th, so it's almost to the date, a full year of shooting, but it's right now, I think it's February 7th, and I'm at Sam's house, and I go home for like 3 weeks. Then I go to South Africa for 2 weeks right before the film comes out to shoot the last section of the film, which is going to be Manar and Steve Pete.
You ready?
Go for it!
Coming!
Nearly every sport where you have a race against the clock, the variables for the athletes are kept to a minimum. So when I think of sports that race against the clock, like the luge in winter sport, or the 100-meter sprint, or anything like that, the track very rarely changes, or the weather conditions don't vary too much. So here you have a sport where you're racing against the clock, but then everything else is working against you as well.
A downhill race poses a tricky proposition for those who choose to play.
Downhill is the Formula One of cycling.
You machine and pause against the clock.
It's not like you constantly hear it ticking in the mind, but every little mistake, every pedal stroke, every route that you hit, every tree, rock, whatever it is, it all equates to that time at the end of the day.
So then it just comes down to your mind.
It takes a special mind to play the game. Only the quick-witted excel.
To win a World Cup, you need to be dead fit and you need to be a bloody good rider, like technically, but also you have to be mentally really strong.
In this game, I'd say mental aspect is where the races are won and lost.
Your mind's so hard to train. It's so hard to get your mind into that place.
A group of riders traversing across the globe, fighting the clock, all in the vice of a collective addiction.
Downhilling, it's a pretty surreal sport, really. It's 5 minutes where the world fades away and nothing else matters. It's crazy to be in a state where nothing else matters. Like, you hardly ever get that way in life. You always have one or two things on your mind. And
well, it's something amazing in our sport. Everything goes like that.
I was one of those kids at school that never knew what I wanted to do when I was older, and riding just kind of given me a massive focus and a massive direction. And
a bicycle takes me back. It was freedom. It was the first chance you could be an independent person, it felt like.